Let the fun begin. Brand new adaptive Reef control board to mount the Apex and all of the new controllers and equipment that I plan on adding onto the tank. So I'm excited to get this on the wall, get everything nice and neat. What I'm not excited about is turn down all my nice, neatly managed wires that I have accumulated over this time. So plain simple, I'm gonna be swapping out wave makers and everything anyways. So we're gonna tear all this out. We're gonna get all of it off the shelf and we're gonna get everything remounted, new pumps, new lights, and hopefully be a little cleaner than this. So adaptive Reef board, let's get it. So for those of y'all that were curious, this is what it looks like outside the box. Now keep in mind, adaptive Reef, they do have different types of boards. The regular size board, the deluxe board, cabinets, and they also have boards that are specific to types of manufacturers like Vortec, or in this case, Apex. So if you get one specifically for the Apex, it does include the pre-cutouts for your EB32 bar, for your head units, for modules. It's also pre-drilled for most of the mounts that comes with that equipment. So it should make things a little bit easier when it comes to laying out this board. And on the backside, I believe it has one shelf and a couple different places to mount power supplies and brackets. So we're going to see how it turns out. Really not sure. We're just going to kind of winging this as we go. But it also includes a Neptune sign, which is LED lit. So it'll give you a nice little finishing touch. Overall, pretty good quality. So now for the fun part, turn down all of the existing wire management. I had everything nice and neatly mounted on the doors of the cabinet. Now, while it looked good functionality wise, it still was not what I wanted at the end of the day. I had to open the doors to even see anything. And honestly, even though I felt like it may have lasted over time, I really didn't like the idea of all my controllers so close to the sump, splashing, humidity, all that stuff. I figured this was just the better option in getting it out from underneath the tank. So if your wires still look like this today, shame on you. I left it like this for a night because I just needed to take a second, visualize, and stretch my back and legs out from bending over and getting all these things out from underneath the tank. But overall, this is what it looks like. Rough, wires everywhere, and just complete mayhem. So got to get all this cleaned up next. I did kind of leave it running this way for a day or so to make sure the tank kept running, but overall, this was definitely, a multiple stage event. Just kind of disassembling, reassembling, disassembling, and then finally laying it out on the board. All right, this is the rough outline of what I think I'm going to do. Couple issues with trying to route these wires on the adapter Reef board. First one, these MP40s do not detach from the main head. So you basically are stuck with this controller and this cord being to the main motor for the pump itself. And these controllers do not fit through any of the slots on the board, or at least anywhere worth hiding, except underneath here. So I'm going to be able to route both of these pumps through the board, which also means to remove a pump from the tank, I'm going to have to reroute these pumps and the controller back through the board, which will still be doable because this will be removable on the back plate. I don't want to get stuck in a situation where I'm going to have to do a lot of trouble to take something out. So it's going to be the best option. So these are going to dictate where everything else goes because these are the only ones as far as all of the controllers, as far as equipment go, that are attached to the pump itself. So Helios, 3 different cores. I can pull this out and move it. Skimmer, I can move it. Return pump, I can move it. It's still running right now. It's the only thing running on the tank. I got to keep some kind of life support going while I'm doing this, but I think this is going to be the rough outline of how I'm going to do it. Try to keep these things nice and even. We are going to handle it with some double-sided tape, but we will use the screws that came with the Apex mounts to get it in there. So I can remove this, slide it in and out. I'm going to use the screws for the back plate, so that way I can remove this if needed. So double-sided tape, Should get the job done. Gonna get these things mounted to the board, leaving space open right here for extra modules. Can fit at least 2 modules here, and probably run the module cords through this little hole here. So module, module, or module, module, run them through here, and then all cords will be mostly out of sight on the board. If you're not going to have the cords, what is the point of using the board, right? So that's the rough outline. We're going to go ahead and get to it and see how it turns out. Man, this is a mess, but it's getting better. We finally have the board mounted, at least the front part of the board. Now we're going to focus on the back, what to do with all the power bricks. We are going to use Aquatics power supply brackets along with some Amazon fancy low profile plugs. So hopefully by the time we're done, everything's nice and neat looking on the front, with these plugs being in the front as far as the EVA32 and the nasty stuff hidden behind it, nice and neat, at least as neat as possible. This is what it looks like. Mounting bracket on, plug, and this will be the only part that feeds out the front. So we are going to get all the power bricks all done up, and I'll show you guys what it looks like on the back of the board. This has been a very, very long process, much longer than I originally thought it would be, only due to a few issues I ran into. First one being the cords and the power supplies for the items on the other side of the tank did not reach, like the auto top off and the wave pumps on that side of the tank. So I had some cord distance issues I had to work around, which also meant that I couldn't put them in the back of the board. I had to still put things underneath the tank on the shelf. So, just kind of working out what I can fit on the board versus what I could not was one thing. And then also working out what I wanted to route through the board and what I just wanted to connect to it over the top of it was a whole nother thing. So, this is one of those situations. You're just going to keep plugging away, be flexible, and just make things work however you can make them work. Because at the end of the day, no one's going to see this behind the board. I'm the only one that really knows what kind of organized chaos this is going to be. But overall, it's going to get the job done. So that's the final result, guys. We got the board mounted. We got all of the different controllers on it. We got the MP40s. We have the Helio's heater controller, the Skimmer, return pump, Apex head unit. All of it wedged on this board with room to grow, meaning 2 or 3 different Apex modules, which I will be adding here soon. That was the whole reason. I want to be able to see everything nice, neat, and clear on the outside of the tank. And as I sit back and enjoy the view, hopefully you guys have been motivated by this video to do something with your wire management. Do something that makes sense. Do something that lets you be able to enjoy your tank and also safely watch your equipment. So I think we're going to go ahead and cut out of here. I don't want this to drag on too long. As always, hey, you guys can like, comment, subscribe. You guys keep doing what y'all do. Y'all be easy and happy reefing. Peace.